Oh, mine is now? Should be. People need to, they need to be alerted. And it's actually better to subscribe than it is to just wait for me to post it on Google or on Google Classroom, whatever. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have attention, please. All quiet, please. Go ahead, take out your notes. We're going to be jumping right back into the situation and notes. A couple other things. You got that? Okay, yeah, put that away. I'm also going to, let me see. We're pretty much wrapping up with this semester. We've already got the last test. We'll get the last quiz back. I think I got one more student that needs to take that quiz that was gone. And, yeah. No, I think I already got you having done that and so forth. I think that was, yeah, no, I was looking and seeing. No, it's not you. It's somebody. Was it you? Was it you? No?
I mean, I missed 14 days, I'm sure.
No? I don't know. Maybe I think I already handed out last quiz back, didn't I? Oh, yeah, actually, there was a quiz. It was another class that had a quiz. I got 4 different courses I'm teaching. Sometimes it's hard to keep track. Whew, whew. Check Power School to see where you're at as far as your grade is concerned. That will help to inform you as to whether or not you should, by tomorrow at 3, get some additional points. Oh, quit whining. So, if you need to get some additional points and so forth to get up to the next highest grade or something like that, it's up to you. Okay? I do actually have a 5-point assignment I'm going to give you right now. We'll get you guys started on this. Some of you guys remember I wasn't able to do this last semester because y'all were in quarantine and I was in quarantine. We were all in just like remote. But now I'll give you an opportunity to do the feedback form. The feedback form is worth an extra 5 points directly to the semester grade, which is pretty cool. The feedback form. Feedback to me, right? Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, here's the deal. Let me just write this down before I forget. If you write, yes, like, yeah, no, I do. Yeah, so it's like if you want to write something mean and nasty and so forth, just say, you are so boring. And then just make sure you put your name, J.T. Allen. Just kidding, no, he won't do that. No, he's not going to say that. But I mean, yeah, we're going to hand these out in just a second. Where's that one? Good grief. There it is. Okay. So, no, I got the forms. I'm just marking attendance here because I still don't see them, so I need to make sure that I got that marked. So, I mean, I've been teaching for a long time. How many more times? I don't know, but I've gotten feedback from students because that's a very important thing, to see what works, what doesn't work, and so forth. One of the things I've learned is y'all are different, and you have different learning styles and stuff, and we try to teach all the different learning styles, but I don't know, sometimes I hit a little bit more on some than the others and so forth. One of the key things, though, is I want to encourage students to be advocates for themselves, to talk about what helps, to talk about what isn't helping as much, and frankly, this semester it's like really crammed because we're trying to do a lot in 2 45-minute sessions per week, and I can push some stuff off for like at home, but frankly, that's a little bit harder for some classes than others because a lot of my classes, me and you and learning and write that. So, but I want to encourage you to get the feedback. What works for you, what doesn't work for you, and so forth. So, here's the form. I found honest feedback from my students can be helpful. I ask for your frank and fair opinion. To get it, I make this promise. Your grade will not benefit nor suffer based on your comments. You will, however, gather 5 extra credit points directly toward your semester grade simply by completing this evaluation. So you put your name, government, date. Actually, my juniors and seniors weren't paying attention, but I had the wrong date up here. I had like yesterday's date up there, and one of my 9th graders was like, yeah, the wrong date, Mr. Hanson. I'm like, thank you very much. You are so astute. So I got it fixed now. So that's the 19th. And then you put your feedback, opinions, concern, messages, final works, drawings, etc. on here. Okay? So you have an opportunity to do that. And I won't guarantee that necessarily everything is that you suggest is going to necessarily be put in place, but it is a good opportunity for me to solicit. Oh, good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I forgot that part too. Whew, guys are looking out for me. So here you go. We'll give you a little bit of time to right, and you can write down here, Mr. Hanson, you never give us enough time to write stuff. In which case, then you can send me an email to do that. Okay. Oh, okay. Most likely not. Okay. From the same place? Okay, okay. I want to give you that. That's for 5 points. No, don't tell me. Just write it down. Yeah, you can talk about this semester. Okay.
Is it anonymous?
No, it's not anonymous. Anonymous. Write your name. Don't be a third.
A third?
Okay.
My grade. Okay, well, you're gonna have to live with the internet.
What? Okay. And government. I don't know. Some of you guys like refer to it as history, which is not entirely.
Or U.S. government.
You were talking about Russia for the longest time.
Okay. Give that back to you. After you've looked at that, you can give this part back to me. Feedback. No, this goes to me. It's direct communication with me. Just me.
The one I write, I'm gonna write. My grade sucks.
Did you have enough of a chance to look at this? Okay. Yeah, that's what I said. You can do drawings. Yes, I like to do drawings. Did I ever show you the video of Simon who does drawings? Did I show you that last year? My name is Simon, and I like to do drawings.
Oh, I'm gonna send it. Mike.
Cheeky monkey. You cheeky monkey.
Mustache.
Okay.
Can I draw anything I want?
I will see it. So let that be your.
Don't let him.
Let that be your.
I know exactly what he's gonna draw.
Okay. We'll give you a few more minutes to. Just like you never give me enough time to write anything. Usually I hand this out like where people are taking tests, so they have plenty of time, but there's just not enough time. Never enough time. God. Okay, while you're doing that, I will just give you an update on, let me see, as we speak, I think we're like getting close to 20 hours left in the Trump administration, and yes, we've got the new things that are coming in. Yeah, hours, yeah. So by 10 o'clock our time, 12 o'clock noon, they'll be beginning the process of first taking the oath of office for Vice President Harris, and then right after that, the oath of office for President Biden, and then he'll give a speech, and then it's actually going to be pretty tame after that. I think, he's still drawing, I think they actually go visit some memorials or some other kinds of things, and which is really cool, but here's what's really happening. It's kind of like what happens in a hotel room after you leave by 11 or 12, whatever the time is that you have to get out of there, before the next people can come in. Exactly, you get kind of like a cleaning thing. They're already doing that. And I think pretty much all the Trump stuff is pretty much packed up and headed toward Florida. I think a lot of it is already in Florida. But the Biden stuff will be able to be moved in then after the inauguration. So within 3 or 4 hours, whatever, then they'll go in there. And their bed will be all tucked in, and there'll be a little mint on the pillow. I don't know. Yeah, he's going. Yep, he's going to be at the at there. He's still drawing. It's done? Okay. Right. What's that? Oh, it looks like a circle. All right, all done? Okay, thank you. Okay. Yes, as far as I understand. Yeah, but there'll be people from previous administrations. I mean, Barack Obama, who was Biden's president when Biden was vice president, will be there. George W. Bush will be there. Bill Clinton will be there. Jimmy Carter's not going to be there. His health is not good. He's the last, surviving president besides the ones I just mentioned. Yes?
Can we like for example, make Barack Obama alive back in the house?
Oh my
Alive
God.
back for longer than
It's interesting. It's an interesting question. Can somebody serve in the Congress after they've been in the presidency? Yes. Here, take a look here. Take a look here. It doesn't happen very much. William Howard Taft, after he became president, he served as on the United States Supreme Court. He liked that job a lot better. Less chaos and like stress and yeah. Probably the best example, though, pretty much none of them really do that. I can't think of any other president that's gone back to the House or the Senate. John Quincy Adams, though, number 6. He ended up back in the House of Representatives, and he served for many years. In fact, he died in the House of Representatives during a debate on slavery. He was against slavery and the expansion of slavery. Yeah, question.
But like,
Have your notes out because we're going to be diving right back into it.
but like,
I think I've got it all done. Okay,
like
thanks.
if he served 8 years, but I wanted to do more than 10 years.
You would have to change the Constitution. Let's double check on this one because this always brings it up. When people are like, I don't like the way it is, and they change the Constitution. All right, you need to know this. You have to know this. I'll ask you first, Michael. In order to change the Constitution, you need to amend it. And you can amend the Constitution because there is a process by which it is done. What vote do you need in the House of Representatives? What fraction of a vote do you need in the House of Representatives?
2/3.
Wow, that was good. You remember that really well. And then it goes to the Senate or vice versa. What fraction of a vote do you need in the Senate?
2/3.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. He remembers it really well. That's amazing. Okay, you can call it that, but there's different kinds of supermajorities. You could have a 2/3 supermajority. You could have a 3/4 supermajority. You could have a 3/5 supermajority. So then, Michael, after it passes the House and the Senate, in whichever order is fine, it goes to the states. And what is required, what fraction of the states is required to ratify it, and therefore it's in the Constitution? Do you need any signals? Very good. You guys all need to know this, right? You have to know this. This is so important. So therefore, is it easy to get an amendment to the Constitution or hard? Very, very hard. How many amendments to the Constitution have there been in our country's history? 27. Did we do the 27th Amendment with you? I want to say for a reason. I think we did the 27th. The restraint on congressional pay. We did that one. Did we do the 17th with you guys? When we did the Senate, I think you were the only ones that I didn't do the 17th. Look in the back of your handout. Go ahead and let's do this right now. Look in the back of your handout. That's 17th. Here it is. 17th Amendment. When we were talking about the Senate, I think I forgot to do that with you guys. Direct election of senators, 1913. On the very back. So that would be the last page. 3 bullet points up from the bottom. Okay? This is one of those constitutional amendments, and it did get enough support from people, so it got added to the Constitution officially by 1913. Make sure you have that in your notes. Prior to that time, who elected senators? Answer, the state legislatures. You're like, what? So you as a voter in your state could elect people to your state legislature. All right, well, that's nice. And one of the things they did was pick your 2 senators for your state. That doesn't sound very democratic. It doesn't sound very like, wow, I got a real handle on who my senator is. So we changed it. Now, who elects the United States senators from the state of Idaho? Yeah, Idaho voters. Yeah, you don't. Not yet. Until you're 18. Yeah, until you're 18. You know what the amendment is that lets 18 years old vote? I'll give you a clue. My dad had a chance to vote for it when that came along.
24.
26. Yeah, 26. So we'll be covering that one. The 19th Amendment is the one that made it clear that women got to vote. And that's been around for 100 years. Okay? All right, so, yeah. When we come back on Thursday, you guys know I'm not going to see. Oh, whoa! I was going to say, I'm not going to see you on Thursday. In fact, I'm not going to see you on Tuesday.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Because unless, please tell me, when you're done at 11 o'clock, how many guys are still going to be sitting around here waiting for a bus to take you back home? You are? You're not pointing yourself. Okay, make arrangements. I think there's been a lot of stress to make sure that you do that, because otherwise I'll be here, there'll be other teachers here, and you'll just basically be hanging out until you...
That sounds fun.
There's other fun things to do.
Wait, can we just like watch like TV?
No, I'm going to be working. I'm sure I'm going to be working. And actually, on that day, for my class, after you're done, I'll have some other video assignments and so forth that I'm going to have you guys do at home, because I'm going to be doing, on Wednesday, I will see the green group, and I'll be doing stuff with them that you guys were watching on video the previous day. So the next time I'm going to see, Jenna, when is the next time I'm going to see you? Yeah, that's right, next Thursday. Okay? So we'll keep on keeping on. I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about. What's that? You leave? I wish you well. I don't know where you're going. I haven't had that conversation. But wherever you are, I wish you well. And turn in your textbook. Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Yeah. Where are you going to be going? Eagle. And you've already had a semester of government, so make sure that they give you that credit. Seriously. Yeah, because that's normally taken by seniors. Okay. Yeah, so you've got that taken care of. Anybody else have their little sheets to give me? Okay, all right, here we go. Let's go.
Oh, this I haven't finished yet.
Well, come on, let's go. Chop, chop. If you want the 5 points, come on. Finish it up, finish it up, finish it up. All right, here we go. Section 7, Article 1, Section 7. You ready? Article 1, Section 7, bills, resolutions, and vetoes. There's a number of different things that take place with respect to how do things become laws. Here we go. This is like, we finally get to it. This is what Congress is supposed to do. Make laws. Another word for that is to legislate. That's why they are the legislative branch. Okay. Got it? What is the word for a proposed law? A bill. B-I-L-L. A bill. Well, that seems pretty straightforward. Well, we're going to have to tell you some things as we go through it, because it's not always so easily straightforward as we go through. Okay? A bill is a proposed law. Is a bill law? What has to happen to a bill for it to become a law or an act? Yeah? It's going to be signed by the president ultimately, although there are ways for bills to become laws without a presidential signature. We'll talk about that as well. That's one of those weird little things. You guys are going to be writing a bunch of stuff down here, okay? Because there are some weird little things that are going on with respect to how a bill becomes a law. Here's the basic parts of it. A bill, write this down, a bill is introduced, is written up and introduced, proposed in the House or the Senate. It can be introduced in either one. Got it? And ultimately, if it's going to end up on the president's desk for a signature, it has to pass. Guess which one? The House, the Senate, or both? Both, exactly. Yep, both. Write that down. Both. And it has to pass in the same form. And you're like, yeah, what do you mean? Of course it's going to be in the same form. Not necessarily. Because if it goes through the Senate, they might change the words. And then maybe it goes over to the House, and then they change the words to different words. Can they have like 2 different versions and that's good enough? No. As I said, make sure you have it written down. It has to pass the House and the Senate with the same words. You can change words along the way, but ultimately it has to have the same words. Because if one of them's like, no, we're not going to agree to how you wrote it out, then that's not good enough. Okay, does that make sense? It's got to be agreed. What do you think, Scott? What do you suppose the requirement is for it to pass the House or the Senate? I'll give you 3 choices. 3/4 vote, 2/3 vote, or a simple majority. Final answer? I know he's like trying to get a sense. Final answer? That was your 3rd one. Raise your hand if you think it's 3/4. Raise your hand if you think it's 2/3. For constitutional amendments, it's 2/3. For these, it's simple majority. Write that down. Simple majority. Simple majority. Although, oh my gosh, do we really have to seriously talk about this? Yeah, this would be the time to talk about it. Oh my gosh, we got to talk about this. Are you ready? It's a different fraction. Because it's a different word. The Senate. The reality is, in the Senate, if you want to get something passed in the Senate, what you really need is 3/5. I'll tell you why. What is 3/5 of 100? What? 60, yep. You need 60 out of 100 votes. This is the Senate. Okay? Normally in the House, right, simple majority, 1/2. In the Senate, you need 3/5 or 60%. And you're like, well, why do you need that many? And actually, it's not actually on the vote so much as it's get to the vote. Remember, Anna, what did you take away when I was talking about the Senate? Remember, like I talked about in my page days, and I was in the Senate, and I had to like deliver a Hershey's chocolate bar with almonds. Remember that? You remember that? Because that guy was sitting up there, he was so bored. He was like hungry. Because I mean, like, how does debates go in the Senate? Are they like chop, 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 chop? No. They go on and on and on and on and on. Write that down. In the Senate, debates could go on and on and on and on. Have you ever been with somebody that's like, oh my gosh, will you just shut up? But you couldn't like say, will you just shut up? Because that would be really rude. And you could get into a lot of problem. If it's a friend, maybe they'd be like, okay, I'm leaving. Right? But, you know, maybe they'll do the same thing to you. But in the Senate, write this down. Debates can go on and on and on. And sometimes the people debating it, they don't want it to get to a vote. It is a stalling tactic. Very good. And we got a special word for that. This stalling tactic in the Senate has got a special word for it. Anybody know this word?
It's not about the word, but what's the fraction that needs to pass in the House again? 3/4?
In the House, simple majority. Yeah. But you know it starts with an F? Filibuster. I don't know. It's a government word. Although sometimes I've heard it like sometimes like there'll be somebody on being interviewed on some news station, and they'll answer the question. They'll go on and on and on and on, and then the reporter will be like, "Stop filibustering. Get to the point. I want an answer now. You are not going to delay this on forever." The point of a filibuster is to argue, listen, to argue until the other side's like, all right, fine, we won't have a vote on this bill. Do you understand that? And I'll give you some examples as we go through. We won't have a vote on the bill. Well, there is one thing that could end a filibuster. That's good. Vote of, looks like closure, but it's pronounced cloture. Although if you think in your mind closure, it actually ends up kind of doing the same thing. A filibuster could be ended, this interminable going on and on debate. Basically, it's this person getting up and several people getting up and talking and talking and talking and talking. It could be ended by a vote of cloture that basically ends the debate. And then they can have a vote. And then, once they have the vote, a simple majority is required. But here's the key thing. Guess how many senators you need to agree with you to vote to end debate, to have cloture, to end the filibuster? Right up here. That's where that number comes from. In order to get to this, you need to have 60 senators lined up to go, we're going to get this thing done. It is going to be over. Got it? These are the rules of the Senate. Put this down. The rules of the Senate have changed over time. If you went back, I want to say even like 70 years, there's a famous movie with Jimmy Stewart called Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It's a great movie. I've shown it to students. I may show it to you at some point in time. Maybe it's on, no, it's awesome. It's great. And the hero, he does a good filibuster. And in those days, one person could do a filibuster, and they could not end it. Well, here's the deal. I mean, it's like, well, hold on. Because you're going to see, they changed the rules. They changed the rules. They changed the rules on filibustering in the early 1960s. And you know why? You're going to see this later on this coming semester. In the early 1960s, there were senators and others who were trying to, get laws passed to allow for African Americans to vote and other civil rights legislation. And what they were running into was a bunch of Southern segregationist senators who were filibustering. And these guys would get up and they'd talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. They never have a vote. So guess what they changed the rules of the Senate? No, they changed it to this. They changed it to the current one. Because, think of it, the United States of America, we got the North, we got the Midwest, we got the West, we got the South. If you only need 2 or 3 people to do an old-fashioned filibuster, but a new filibuster, how many people is it going to take to basically kill the bill by talking it to death? 41. If you got 41, you can effectively do a filibuster. You understand that? Because it takes 60 to shut off the filibuster, to have the vote, to get the thing passed. Do you understand that? So they changed it. There was enough impatience with Southern white segregationist senators. They're like, man, we're going to get this thing through. They changed the rules in the Senate, and they got the civil rights legislation through in the 1960s. Who was happy with that? A lot of people, including the guy who we celebrated yesterday on the anniversary of his birthday. Thank you very much, Martin Luther King Jr. Exactly, Martin Luther King Jr. Okay? So, let me throw this out to you right now, because this is actually an interesting question. As of tomorrow, this time, who's in charge of the White House, Republican and Democrat? Who's in charge of the House of Representatives, Republican and Democrat? Who's in charge of the Senate, Republican and Democrat? Do the Democrats have enough votes in the Senate to overcome a filibuster if the Republican senators all stick together? No. They'll have 50 and then the tie-breaking vote, Vice President Harris. They won't have enough. They won't have enough. Shh. Hook a little note here next to this. They changed the rules of filibustering recently. Make a little note of this. Okay? Put it away. Thank you. There's one kind of vote in the Senate that you cannot filibuster. Ready? Filibuster is the stalling tactic that if you have 40 senators along with yourself, you can basically kill a bill. Even if it came up for a straight vote, you would lose on a majority vote. So you basically, the filibuster, to kill a filibuster, 60 need to kill it. So therefore, you need 60 in order to really get it passed in the Senate. Except for, you ready? Write this down. Nominations to the courts. When a president sends a nomination over for the Supreme Court or any of the other federal courts, you can have a vote on it. You can't filibuster it. So a simple majority will work. So like, for example, the 3 court appointments that President Trump had during he had a 4-year term. He got 3 onto the Supreme Court. Are you kidding me? I don't think Jimmy Carter got any when he was there. Nobody died or retired when he was on there for 4 years. But those 3 that Trump had, all of them passed the Senate. I don't think any of them got more than 60 votes. I think most of them got above 50 but below 60. They could not be filibustered. You understand that? The rules had changed. Okay? What's that? The Senate did. We can write that down. The Senate can change its own rules. And here's the interesting thing. What vote is required in the Senate to change one of their rules? Simple majority.
Why? Why is it so easy?
The reason why they are hesitant to get rid of the filibuster, there's going to be some people that are going, man, Biden, he could get all these things done, and the Democrats, they want to get it done and so forth. But will they? Do they have enough votes in the Senate to change the filibuster rules, to get rid of it for everything and have a simple up or down majority vote on the legislation? No. There's at least 1 or 2 Democrats that are like, tradition, I won't vote to change the rules. So it actually gives the minority a pretty good position in the United States Senate. Okay, this is U.S. government. If you want to know and you're like, oh my gosh, Biden, he's got the presidency and the House and the Senate. Why can't he get things done the way he wants to? You mean like, I know the answer to this. It's the filibuster. Because how many Republicans are in the Senate? But 50. Is that enough to filibuster something if they're serious about it?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If they're in the minority. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. They're going to have to come up with some. It's like, for example, I was reading today that Biden is going to send over a bill to grant legal status to like 11 million people here in this country without proper paperwork as far as immigration and so forth. And people are like, oh, my gosh. And the thing is like, it'll never pass the Senate. Why? It's going to get filibustered. I mean, if all the Republicans stick together, even if 41 of the Republicans stuck together on that, it will never come to a vote. You never get a vote. I mean, you ever been in a conversation with somebody who's like, you need to get to a decision, but they talk and talk and talk and talk, you never get to a decision. That's filibustering. Okay? All right. That was good. All right? You're like, hey, you're taking government. You want to know how government works and so forth. And sometimes it's just kind of weird. So you have to write down all the weird stuff that's going on in there. All right, next. So it passes the House, and it's got to pass the Senate, and then it goes on to the President. Oh, my gosh. Oh, this is going to get complicated. You ready for some complexity? All right, here, just make a little side note. Please put that away. Just clear it off. We don't need people playing with stuff because it's already enough distractions and so forth. A revenue bill has to start in the House. That's an easy one. It actually says so right there. Revenue bill start in the House. What's a revenue bill? Do you want to know what a revenue bill is? Guess what it does? It raises revenue. What's revenue? It's money. How do you get revenue? Taxes. So if somebody wants to propose a bill that has to do with taxes, it has to start in the House. Whoa. And then once it starts in the House, then where does it go? To the Senate. What about all the other bills? Do they have to start in one or the other? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can start in this one, that one, and so forth. Okay? Doesn't matter that way. Okay? Ooh, all right. Okay. Let's see if we can get a bill to become a law. Shall we? All right? Have you guys got a wonderful bill you want to become a law? Actually, anybody want to be like in Congress? You want to be in the House or the Senate? House or the Senate?
Senate.
Okay, so here we go. You're a senator, and you are going to, I don't know, I've got it up here and so forth, but that's a little bit kind of like, oh my gosh, it's kind of crazy. Look at how I do it right here. Here we go. All right? Trey is in the Senate, and you're going to introduce a bill. And here it is, Senate Bill number 1. Let's see if you give it a number. Senate Bill number 1. Okay? Way to go. Congratulations. You've just introduced a bill. Write this down. Most bills that are introduced die before the year is over. Okay? The number of bills that actually make it the full way and become a law is like maybe 1 or 2% at best. Most bills die where Trey's bill is about to be sent to. Your bill is going to be sent to a committee, a Senate committee. And there is, I want to say, at least a dozen, maybe 2 dozen committees in the Senate, and they have to do with different kinds of topics. Like, let's say it's a military bill. That would go to, like, the Senate Defense Committee or Military Committee. Okay, Armed Services Committee. If it has to do with foreign policy, it goes to the Senate Foreign Policy Committee. Okay, Foreign Relations Committee. You got that? So it gets sent to a committee. And what are they going to do in that committee? Well, the committee is made up of senators of both parties. Not all the senators, but, I don't know, maybe like 20 altogether. Got that? So they're going to look at the bill, and they're going to decide what to do with it. So write down, most bills die in committee. In fact, if somebody really doesn't look like your bill, they're not even going to bring it up for a discussion. Who's the most powerful person on that committee? The most powerful person is the chair. And you have to be in the majority party. This is why that actually makes a big difference. All of the chairmen, chairpersons, chairs, whatever you call them, in the Senate are what party? Neutral. No, he's got Republican and Democrat. Who's in the majority? What do you mean you don't know? Don't give me this I don't know look. There's 50 Republicans. There's 50 Democrats. Who's in the majority? There is no majority, except there will be a majority because who breaks tie votes? Yep, and what's the vice president, Republican or Democrat? Democrat. So all of the chairs of the committees are going to be Democrats. Okay? So, Trey, are you the chair of that committee?
Yes.
That makes it easy. Okay, so well done, Trey. Your committee, you're the chairman, you're going to make sure that it gets acted upon and so forth. Now let's just say, here's what might happen. You ready? I'm going to give you a little bit of a sense of what could happen to that. I will call it, because they won't actually do it this way, but you guys can get a little bit of the sense. Let's say that in committee, Trey agrees and they change the bill a little bit. So let's just call it like 1.1. The bill is changed in the process. And that can happen. That's cool. That can happen. But it gets out of committee. Well done, Trey. Your bill has gotten out of committee. Now, I don't want to confuse things too much because sometimes in a lot of committees they actually get sent to subcommittees. There's even smaller groups of people that are part of the committee, and they might look at it and deal it and kick it around and then kick it back up to the committee. But we're going to try and keep it a little bit simple for your sake here. Are you ready? So, Trey's bill gets out of the committee. And now it goes to the Senate. Well done. You've gotten to the Senate.
But I thought I was in the Senate.
The full Senate. Now the full Senate is going to consider your bill. You were involved at this stage writing the bill and probably getting people to support you. Right? Like the people who proposed the bill to impeach Trump. You know how many people signed on to that? I want to say like 218 or something. I mean, it's like every Democrat was like, sign me up. Where's the card? I'm going to sign up here. So you really, at this stage, you want to get people to support it because that always helps. Goes to committee, they debate it, they discuss it, they vote, it comes out. Now it goes to the full Senate for a debate and a vote. How's it going to go there? Here's what might happen too. He's going to filibuster it. Oh my gosh. If he does filibuster it, how many votes do you need if he's filibustering and some of the other people? How many do you need to? 60%, or actually 60 senators. That's easy to remember. So it goes to the Senate. Let's just say you agree. Somebody comes along and you amend it from the floor. So now it's version 1.2. Got that? So it could be amended on the floor. Wow, now we got a different version of this. Is it going to pass? Are you going to get over the filibuster? Let's just say, for argument's sake, you win. Ha ha! It goes now where? Yeah, very good. It goes to the House. Okay? So now, in the House will look at it and go, wow, let's see. This is nice. This came out of the Senate. It passed the Senate. Now what do we do with it? Guess where they send it? No, they send it to a House committee. Okay? Now, Trey, you're not the chairman of that committee, but have you talked to the chairman of that committee?
Yes.
Do they like your idea?
Yeah, no.
If you have, that's good. Okay? If they support it, but can they amend it in their committee? Sure they can. So let's just say now it is version 1.3. They changed it in the House committee. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Will it pass the House committee in the amended form? Sure. And then where did it go? The full House. Oh my gosh. Isn't this crazy? But do you see where it's coming through now? And let's just say that the full House, because they don't really allow for lots of amendments from the floor, so they pass it version 1.3. Now what happens to the bill? Make sure you have this, because we've got, Trey, is your bill ready to go to the president now?
Yes.
Is it? What's the matter? We got two different versions. We got 1.3 and we got 1.2. Two different versions. Two different things can happen here. You ready? Watch this. You ready? It could go back to the Senate and go back through the whole thing like that, but that actually takes some time. So a lot of times, you ready? Here we go. They take this bill that passed the House and this bill that passed the Senate, and they appoint a conference committee. No, keep going. Come on, keep it up. We're not over, are we? No, we're not. Oh, yeah. Write this down. Conference committee. Who's on the conference committee? Trey, do you want to be in the conference committee? The goal of the conference committee is to come up with a compromise between the two. Do you want to be in that committee?
Yeah.
Heck, you do. All right? So let's say they come up with a compromise. Okay? Please don't. They come up with a compromise, and it's going to be called Senate Bill 1.4. Now, well done, conference committee. Where is that bill going to now go? No. It's going to go directly to the House and the Senate. If it passes the House and the Senate, where's it going to go to? Thank you very much. And then it goes to the president. Gosh, really? Seriously? The president could veto, it's dead. Write that down. If the president vetoes, it's dead, unless it goes back to the House and back to the Senate, and what is required to override a presidential veto? What do you have to get in order to override a presidential veto? What percentage of the vote? 2/3 in both the House and the Senate. Huh? Although I will tell you next time, because there's some crazy things like if the president just ignores it or the president doesn't sign it, there's going to be some other ramifications there. Oh my gosh, it's right. It's crazy. All right, we're going to stop it at that point, and you guys can pick it up later. All right? Okay. Yeah, most of the time the president's vetoes never get overridden. Doesn't happen very often. Does not happen very often.
Well, you're getting